severe weather for the high plains, which include a 5% chance to see an isolated risk for damaging winds and large hail. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Pew. Today is September 7th, 2025. Now, in terms of time frames for the high plains, it looks like things are going to start around 2 p.m. Mountain Time, but this also includes the Northern Rockies as well. Now, in terms of severity for the Northern Rockies, there isn't much, but there is a fire risk going from Washington State to Idaho, where lightning may pose a risk. And back to the high plains, as we go into the night, there may be some cells that form into clusters into one band of storms in Oklahoma to Kansas. And some of these storms may persist overnight and into next morning as well. Now, in terms of flash flooding, compared to last week, South Texas, Florida, and also the Carolina coast only have a marginal risk. For South Texas, you guys are already seeing some convection this morning, and this is going to continue pretty much all day, while we're going to see some intensification around 2 p.m. Central Time. And there may be some storms that persist overnight, but this is mainly a concern along the coastline. Now, for Florida, we're going to see isolated to scattered cells that's going to bring heavy rain, and we're going to see more frequency around 2 p.m. Eastern Time, but less so during the night. And from the coastline to Georgia to Carolinas, we're going to see something around 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so why this is all happening? If we look at 500 millibars of midway through the troposphere, we have a pretty broad ridge in the west. Now, there's not too much going on, but we have a little bit of some perturbations or little disturbances. So if we take a little deeper dive at these height contours, we can see these little nicks or these little curvatures. Similarly, how we talk about shortwave troughs and how they add a little bit of spin, it's the same thing here, but in like little pockets. So you can imagine there's a little bit of vorticity or spin, which is going to help with the upward motion in these areas. And in addition to that, there's also little pockets of somewhat decent shear, and that's going to help with the updrafts as well. And throughout the day, it does look like the shear increases in the high plains, which is going to help sustain those storms a bit. And we do have some lingering mid-level moisture going all the way from Washington State to the south. Now, if we look at 850 millibars, but not so much at the surface yet, at the low levels, we do have a low-level jet that's bringing in southerly winds, and that's going to help transport that tropical moisture from the south to the high plains. But if we pay attention to the wind direction, at 850 millibars, they're southerly, and at 500 millibars, they're northwesterly. So as winds goes up with height, they spin a little bit more clockwise, which means that their winds are varying with height, which means that they're spinning, which will aid in the upward motion. Now, if we go down to the surface, we have a high pressure in the Midwest, and it's bringing southerly winds. So just like the low-level jet, bringing in that warm moisture into the high plains. And this high pressure is even affecting Texas as well, because if we look at the south, we can see it's bringing in easterly winds, which again is bringing in that warm tropical air from the Gulf to these areas. But for South Florida and the southeast coastline, we have a low pressure, and that's bringing in a lot of localized circulation, but also because they're counterclockwise flow, it's just recycling that tropical moisture in Florida and also bringing it to the southeast. And in addition to that, just like yesterday with that cold front that hit the northeast, that same cold front is finally reaching the southeast coast. So with that, we're going to have some surface lift. And I just want to give a quick update to the tropics. If we looked at the Atlantic, there's nothing to worry about. And if we look at the Pacific, we still have Hurricane Kiko as a category 3 at 125 miles per hour, but we have pretty good confidence that's going to avoid Hawaii altogether, though you guys may see some showers from the outer bands. And that's why we may see